It's not the wrong camera, I just have the wrong, it shouldn't be a background, it should be removed. What up, Chris? How are you doing? Wonderful. I didn't. So my Be Right Back screen toggles my audio or my microphone. So I didn't unmute myself when I switched to the unit to my normal scene. So when I switched to the Be Right Back, I enabled the audio, and when I came back, I was muted. Anyway, you are doing the clap. Thank you for all the claps. Welcome, Chris, and welcome, Captain Coder. How are you both doing today? And Captain Coder, how was your class, and how was your stream? Like, I was there, but how was it for you? Stream was solid. Good. I noticed that the raid kind of failed, but that happens. Or I saw something change, and then there was no audio, and the stream you raided went offline, I think. So last stream, we rewrote the movable platforms, and they work really well now. We got the horizontal momentum from the platforms, and we started reworking the magic system. Felt bad when the raid went on offline use. Yeah, I understand you. It is not easy being a streamer. I think I am. Yeah, okay. So we are going to continue implement magic on for enemies, and that's 1A and 1B. No, that's one. Implement magic. 1A would be enemies, and then 1B would be the boss. What up, Shady Game? Captain's face will be remembered. Yep. Happy Monday. How are you doing, Shady Games? Welcome. I really to play through the game and see how fun it is. Play through the game and find bugs. That is what I'm going to do today. So we are going to start in room 11, the one up here, my testing room, and to test my magic for the enemies, I need to place a magic enemy in here. We have the magic angel. I'm going to walk between these two points. And currently it cannot shoot magic. So we are going to solve that. But first I need to go into my room manager and set the room to be 11. And I want to see what happens when it tries attacking. Shouldn't be anything. Shouldn't even be errors, I think. Horizontal movement. Oh, right. That rule has moving platform info. They should all have moving platform info. So I don't think I need to add that check. I think I need to add a component to the angel. Not magic, what's it called? Entity horizontal move, no. Moving platform component. Let's add that in here. And then I will make sure this is updated, which it is now. And I'm actually going to do the same on the other enemies. Make sure they have the moving platform. Yeah, I'm flying. Well, the flying one is not going to be standing on a platform. It's just flying, so that one doesn't need any. Let's try again. Now nothing happens when we stand in front of the enemy. If I move away, it's going to start walking back and forth. It's not, because it probably crashed somewhere in the shooting magic state. Triangle. So let's go and check what's going on. Actually, check on the magic angel, the components. I really want to rewrite the system, but that would take a few days, I think. Because even though the component system is kind of cool, and if you do it properly it would be really powerful, it's really hard to get everything to work together. I've had so many issues with trying to force components to handle themselves, but they aren't. They still need a lot of data from others. Like to jump, I need to do so many things when I jump, or yeah, it's really weird. But let's see, we should have a magic enemy component. Is that it? Yeah. Skill pool is not set because we do not have a skill pool anymore in that way. We do create a skill. Oh, we need the on complete. Yeah, that is the problem. So I made a new magic system that the player is using. No, that the box is using. So we have the box. That's a lot of states, and we want to go into the magic state. This one. Because here we are not doing anything. Because where we want to go is into fireball, box fireball state. Where are we attacking? Right here. So I am going to copy this into my magic, I think. Yeah. Let's put it in here. We have a position where we are creating a skill, and the skill direction would be facing direction info value 2 in. Yeah, 2 in. Instance get. Is it get skill? No, it's get spell object, and we need a skill. We need to set the level. Let's send that in level. And the skill direction would be facing direction. There we go. Okay. That. Oh, I have some errors. But wait, create skill. Well, we need to send in the level, and the level is going to be 1. No, 0. Then We have 2 more places where we have to send in 0. Hopefully that will be enough to have the enemy shoot a fireball at me. I want to see that it moves first. It does. Turns around and sees me. No. Vertical collision is missing. Let's do collision data. Fireball skill data 21. Let's actually go to the magic component. What up, Loafycraft? How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome to the stream. Now let's see what we are doing. We were shooting the fireball from the entity. Magic enemy component. Here we create the skill. Magic. So let's put a breakpoint in here. I want to see what the spell is that we are sending in. So while it's attaching to the while we're waiting for it to attach, I'm gonna have a little drink. And hopefully it attached to the editor. Let's jump down and it sees me. There we go. We have the skill, which is magic enemy fireball. Okay. I see the problem. Let's go to magic enemy fireball. Be the fireball spell. I don't think I need to add anything else. No. Layer collision? Oh, layer collision, no. Okay, no. Oh yeah, we need layer collision. Problem. The layer collision is what the fireball will collide with to just disappear. The bomb needs the bomb spell collision is liftable. Yeah, I guess we can lift the the boss bombs. Let's try that one instead. Do I need to change anything else? No, I do not. Boss fireball. I guess I could do that one. Fireball spell collision, the ground player. Let me try that on fireball as well. And actually on my own fireball. Fireball fire. Cool. Try and shoot a fireball, or the enemy will do it, I hope. It did. Okay. In my skill data, I think I have did you know you can skip the domain reloading anytime you enter play mode? Yes, I know. I tried playing around with that, but with my input handler handling a static dictionary with all my inputs, it kind of messes up even though I'm using the runtime initialize on load method. So I am not able to do that without messing up the inputs. Sadly. But LC would save a lot of time. I would have to rewrite my input handling system, and I don't feel like doing that. I spent like half an hour trying to get it to work with this. But the problem is that the singleton pattern doesn't really work with it well. We still keep instances of other what it's called. We're creating a new instance of this, and we're not removing the old one early enough. Fine, just wanted to share some info just in case. Yeah, thank you very much. I said, yeah, I did try it, but it didn't work out for me in my particular case. Where was I? Viable skill data, right. So we do the circle collision here. 50 points added to shiny games. Oh, hit wrong stream. Add point 50 shiny. I don't know if we can add points. Apparently I have it running. I have stream elements and I think it's running by default. I'm not using it for anything since I have channel points. Yeah. But I do have stream elements because I want a bot to be able to be in here and post things when I'm offline. I'm running Firebot when I am online for a lot of things, but when I'm offline I want stream elements to be here. So with the circle collision we're doing, oh, is the ground? No. Oh, that's the problem. Yeah, let's go to the fireball skill. Fireball skill data. That's the fireball skill, but then we have an fireball. That was the enemy fireball. Magic enemy fireball, yeah. So here we have the collision, and I used the old fireball spell collision, which is wrong. We need an enemy fireball spell collision. Let's actually make a folder for enemy. The reason for this is that my collision keeps track of the layer it should hit. We should hit the player body layer, maybe 25. Keep track of hits. So now I need to put this into the enemy magic. And this is one of the problems I'm having with my with my component system. There's so many components, so really hard to find the correct one. So I could remove all of this, or let me check. We have the entity hit collision, which is a part of collision detection, which has a layer mask of what it's going to collide with. In this case, we could do it like this: public set layer, and let's take in a layer mask or layer. Then we can reuse the same ones, and it's a lot easier to set the skill source I mean skill target. But in this case, it would be annoying. No, skill source, I guess, would be renamed. So let's do that. So we have the skill source, and let's remove the skill target and just change the let's actually remove skill target completely, and this should be skill target. Target. Yeah. Cool. I think we have the collision in here, and we can do on create. We can then take the skill target. That is kind of, no. Let's redo it again. Let's remove skill target. And this will be a layer task. Skill layer. A lot better. Then we can do collision set layer. Be the skill layer. And I could just take the layer mask here. I think that's better. But the problem with this is that I can't do this. This is a scriptable object. I can't do this. It's better to make a different one. If this is we'll change the scriptable object instead of like the reference, instead of getting which layer it is. So we can't do that. Still target info. I don't need that anymore. We're not using the skill target components either. Even more errors. Okay. So the thing I did where I created a new collision was the correct way. Magic component, magic enemy component, fireball. So this enemy fireball collision here is the way we'll do it. Then we can actually remove the skill layer from here as well. We had We need a skill type. We don't need the entity main anymore. We need the base values. That is a big fireball. Huh. What? Okay. More things we need to fix. In the fireball skill data, we only collide once since we are... Fireball shouldn't keep track of hits. Enemy fireball.
You must be Danny. I'm Dr. Rubens. I see you already met Crush. You'll be unconscious soon.
But if we keep track of hits, we also need to clear the hit thing, the hit list. But we don't really need.
Open your mind and let me explain.
Now I'm a little bit confused. Now, why is it not colliding with me? The only thing I could think of would be that they used the wrong layer, but is using that one, which has player keep track of hits. Shouldn't be a keep track of hits. We only add them to a list if we do. Do we have a reset down here? Yeah, we do have a reset. But let's go to Fireball, skill data. It's very interesting that it's not colliding with me. We would get in here, that is the question. We do get in here. Now it works, okay. Did it work because I was debugging? Or could it be that I didn't reset it before and now it reused it and reset it from the scriptable object? Yeah, probably. Cool. So let's turn off the lag component that I have on my player. Now the Magic Angel can shoot fireballs. That is really good. Now I need to go to the boss in room 9. You have the boss. First phase, phases 1. Components, attack fireball. Here we need the boss one fireball, and this one will use a enemy fireball spell collision. We do have the wrong skill pool. Well, we shouldn't have the skill pool in here. But I think everything should just work now. Well, let's go to room 9 and try the boss to see if the boss can shoot fireballs. Sweet. They aren't big at all. Oh no. And I don't know where the hitbox is on them. Cool. Now we need to do the same for the bombs, because they are a bit too big. Yeah, boss 1 attack bombs component. There is so much work on these that I can just get rid of. Let's do the box bomb update. But instead I can just do this. We are still in this. We need a position info. Position info, position value. The skill. Just the skill, current level. Activated start position. Well, this one needs a spell. It's a magic spell. We are activating the spell. Let's see, we are creating it. We are initializing it with a power, which is 15. I would like to set some values. Since the magic spell is now a liftable object, if the skill is liftable. So that way we could set a set liftable settings. In this case, only a throw power. I call it. We need to. That's when we initialize it. Okay. And we also need the throwing direction. Because we are throwing it here, right? No? We're not. Am I? Alright, I'm not doing it here. But I could. Maybe? If we go into the boss here, we have this spell. Did I not have a liftable object? We can do a public liftable object. Then we get the liftable object. I would initialize it with the throwing power. Set a throwing power 30 to 15. I think that is good. I can initialize it with throwing force. Oh, we already had one. No. Yeah. Throwing force is what we need. And we initialize it with one throwing power. The liftable object throw. This would throw it straight up. So I kind of need to know what up, Purple Coder? How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. What's up? I am working on my... There we have it. That's the code I want. I am working on my magic system. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. There should probably be X value. No, we need a new vector 2. Vector 2. We need the X value. And the throwing force.y. What exactly are we doing? I will show you in a second. Let me refresh it, and I am working on my magic. So let me show you in a warp to the correct room. Oh, there we go. Oh, it broke. Because I wrote room 90 instead of room 9. I think it broke. Warp to room 9. There we go. So this is my boss, and I am trying to get it to work properly. So first it shoots fireballs that you have to dodge. The sprites are a bit bigger than the actual collision, but it's the second phase I want to check. Will it work? No. We were supposed... Oh, I don't think I have a throwing force. It killed itself. Cool. It's so cute. Thank you, thank you. The boss is... Let me just... Or did I refresh? I don't even know. I think I did. Yeah, the fireball component. We need a phase 2 component. Tech bombs. We have the throwing force 2040. Not supposed them. Yeah. So I am trying to get those bombs now to fly straight up and a little bit to the sides in a randomized direction. I have been reworking my system. What tools am I using? I am using Unity and writing my code in Rider, and then I use Level Designer Toolkit for level designing. So, would this change anything? Can I start the boss in phase 2? That is the question. had a way of starting the boss in phase 2 before. And I am not sure it's still working. Well, I pressed the wrong key. I killed myself. No, it didn't work. But we can kill the boss quite fast. Nope. But we can pick this up and throw them. So why are we not throwing the bombs? Oh, well, why are the bombs not being thrown up into the sky? Could it be that I'm spawning them? Set this to 10 to start with. Or could it be that I'm spawning them too far down? So start position Y +1. Like if I spawn them in the ground, then they wouldn't fly because they are just colliding. I'm trying to press escape to open the console. That's not how it works. Let's start in room 9 instead. Monday has already ended. It's Tuesday. Oh, are you in Asia? I assume then. You must be at least 5 hours ahead of me. There we go. Of course. So the movement speed is not really taken into account here. Calculate velocity. Oh, we need it for... okay. Value. Could this be it? Then we need to have an input direction X. Have you made the whole game by yourself? Yes, I have. The graphics are though from a game jam we did in early January. But apart from the graphics, everything is made by me. Oh, there we go. The boss killed itself again. So I think I need to change the boss collision. You're amazing. Thank you, thank you. I would not say I am amazing. But I do get work done. That is something I can agree with. So the bomb collision needs to be boss bomb collision. Let's call it boss 1 bomb collision because we want it to hit the player only. We don't really want the boss to kill itself. So let's add that to the boss 1 bomb, and we do the boss 1 bomb collision. I don't want to add more power. If we increase this to 80, I think that would do a lot more. How long it took me to build this? I've been going for around 2 months building this. So yeah, 2 months. Attack it. There we go. See if they fly high now. Nope. But at least the boss cannot kill itself. Do I take damage from this? I do. But I can pick this up and throw it. I guess the throwing force is all... Let's do this. Throwing force, not Y. Yeah, it's been going pretty fast with the development. We have a lot of features in the game. I am trying to get a vertical slice of the game out at the end of March, but it's probably going to be like mid-April, as it looks right now. The vertical slice will not feature the graphics. Oh, that is way too much speed. Could I change this now to like 30? Oh, I think this is really good. Maybe 25, so they don't hit the ceiling. And then they explode when they land, kinda. The only problem now is they are not bouncing on the wall. What all this monkey can do? Monkey? Do you mean the... I am not sure what you mean with a monkey. It should be 30. Or was it 25? It was. $25. And for the bomb, I think I'm going to add a bounce to the bomb. And that will, oh, not to the bomb, to the monkey with dragger. You mean the player? I would not call the player a monkey. You're calling the main character a monkey? I don't understand. That is weird. So for the liftable object then, when they are not liftable object, we are throwing this. Throwable object should have a bounce. Let's do this. Private ball can bounce. And let's set it to true to start with. And in the collision update, we are handling the wall collision, right? Here we set the velocity text, but if we can bounce, we do something else, we set velocity to 0. It is a Grim Reaper. I think it has a name. But calling it a monkey is not... Oh, I just call the Reaper. That is the character's name. Here we do velocity multiplied by -1. Hopefully this will work. And I don't have to do anything more, but there could be a chance of this bouncing back and forth if it lags into the wall. We'll have to... Yeah, that's not really exactly what I wanted. Can you make the background purple? No, I do not have time for that. This is not the final graphics, so that is not something we can do right now. I think I need to do the bounce earlier, because now we are in the wall, I think. And I think I need the horizontal collision before this. Collision, let's try this. Collision calculation. Let's do handle bounce. Why did I add a breakpoint to line 52? Why not? It's cute there, isn't it? If can bounce, it has been there for a while, or I misclicked. That stuff happens. The velocity times equals -1. Let's do a what up, Dram? Welcome, welcome. How are you doing today? We do have the collision calculation. We need to check. Collision has value as collision. And if velocity.x. Thank you for the resub. Got off work but fell asleep. I know that feel. Stuff happens, but thank you very much for the resub. I really appreciate it. 1 second. Velocity, would that be I would then, if we have left collision and we remove it clear left, then the velocity would be just maps velocity.x, I guess. If collision calculation right collision, I would do the same. Velocity.x is larger than 0.01f. Then velocity.x would be minus. Perfect. I've almost been going for an hour. I think I'm going to take a small break soon. But first, I want to get the bumps to bounce correctly. Oh, I should. Really do not understand why they just keep falling straight down when they hit the wall, like they get extra speed. Did I leave the bounce in on? Oh, I still have the wall collision. If can bounce, if we can't bounce, then we don't do anything. Or if we cannot bounce, we set the velocity to 0. There we go. But only on the left wall, okay. Why only on the left wall? Did I refresh? I think I did. Okay, so handle bounce. And bounce. If right wall has collision, speed is going to the right. Now I'm very interested in seeing if we have both left and right wall collision. Because I'm not, when we do handle horizontal collision, we start with right. Could it be? Oh, I should. No, we don't. Okay. Next test is to see if we're in here, and also no, we are getting in there. So it seems like my setting velocity x to math abs velocity x minus is not a but this means, okay, so we could just do since we are checking if velocity x is larger than 0.01, we can just set it to minus. No? I do not understand. Why do... Why is the left wall working but the right wall isn't? If we do like this. So... Oh, wait, let me... do another check because the other one wouldn't happen. Debug lock. But no. We got in there and we didn't have left wall collisions, so it should be fine. I'm so confused by this. I wonder if this would make it really fun with the... Oh, this gives me a great idea with the bouncing on the walls. If you surf on the box and hit the wall, you will bounce back. So you could do like a full surfing level where you just kind of bounce back and forth and dodge things. That would be kind of fun, I think. I really do not understand. I really do not understand. This should be the same as setting it to minus what it was, right? And we are getting in here, so velocity should be... Do we have any other way of setting the speed? No. Could it be that we're... No. We should hit the wall. We should move out from the wall if we are inside the wall. That's kind of all that's missing for this boss. Making the right wall bounce. Because I do not know what... the problem with the right wall is. If you're not getting out of the wall, the next tick, the sign will keep chaining. No, well, yeah. No. What up, Crabbox? Cracksbox, I mean. Because we are checking the right wall collision. So I think we're checking the right wall collision and that the speed is going to the right. So if we invert this to get a minus speed, we would not get past this one. So hopefully the collision itself would move us far enough out from the wall. And then we would have speed the other way. But we could technically get in here. If the left collision would... but I'm just confused as to why it works on... But now when you say it, let me just try this. Because it could be one of those things. Also, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Glad to see you here. Did I ask how you're doing? Are you doing good? Are you doing well? I'm so out of it. No, okay. It has nothing to do with the collision order of left and right wall either. So this is just something, probably something stupid I'm doing somewhere. Glad to be here. Glad to hear that you are glad to be here. We handle bounds. No, there's nothing. Okay, let's go into the parent object liftable wall collision. Do we have any collision here? Collision. We have ground collision that would where we just set a layer, and this wouldn't change a thing. Oh, lift, yeah, but we're not lifting it, we're colliding. I just don't know what could be the issue. Unless it for some reason is getting in here, but it's not. I had a debug log in here and it was getting in here all the time. I even did this to be sure before, where you do take the absolute value and set it to minus. Because then it would always be minus. And if I add a debug log in here, yeah, it should work for both ifs, but this now I'm explicitly saying the direction. It's oops, I pressed R. But let's try that. Velocity.x. Are you calling handle bounce 2 times each tick? No, I'm calling it once. We have handle bounce there. First we calculate gravity. Well, we move it, we calculate gravity, then we do horizontal collision, and horizontal collision will move the player left and right a little bit, depending on if we're colliding, but that should just keep us from being inside the wall. Then we do the handle bounce that I just added. If we can bounce left wall collision, we should I don't feel like we are getting in here. Like, I don't think we are. What I could do after... I'm just gonna see that this works. But what I could do is throw one bomb and debug log, and we can see. Alright, I need to kill the first phase. Left wall still working perfectly fine. So what I'm going to do now is just to make sure that they aren't getting into both of those. Is to the +1 bomb attack. Let's throw one bomb. And let's increase the horizontal speed a little bit. Then I'll go in here. I'll start debugging. Then we'll go to the boss and we'll go to the next phase. And now when we hit the wall, we should we had a few more. So then we get in there. That's good. Now we get in there again. The wall. Then we'll get in here. And you can see we're in here. We are changing the velocity. It's now -24. And we should still have -24 as the velocity. We're not resetting it anywhere now. You only reset it on activate. Now we hit that wall real fast. . But we are so fast that we hit the wall again. So we are... Yeah, we just keep being in here, even though the... When we get back here, it's minus 57. So that would be, well, minus 67. So then one moved, minus 86. That should be like the middle of the boss room. Collision horizontal, minus 67. Okay, so the... Okay. Do you have an idea? It could be that my check horizontal collision is not perfect. It's stuck to the wall, yes. And I just found the issue. The issue is, yeah, it sticks to the wall. So I found the issue. Even the velocity is being set properly. So it's not a problem with the velocity. The problem is the handle horizontal collision. So I've changed it on a few different places, but not horizontal. We're using previous position for the X. And when do we set the previous position? We set it right before we get in. So that is right before the bounce. So what I could do is just rewrite this from using the previous position, but let's see if we can fix it. Because the previous position shouldn't be in the wall, no matter, like we set it. So after all of this has happened, it should be in a good position. So this one should be correct. Let's go in here, and there's something wrong with the previous position. Sounds like you're on it, yeah. I just need to... Good. Oh, the object size minus... The Y, yeah. X is 0.25. That is very big. So if I decrease this to -24, I assume it's going to work. And I will explain that in a little bit, if it's working. I'm not going to explain it beforehand, because if it's not working, then I'm just going to sound dumb. It didn't work. Okay, did I refresh? Yeah, I did. So what we're doing is we calculate the horizontal collision, which is a box cast. We're sending from our previous position. What you can do is create a while loop that moves the player until it's no longer horizontal colliding in the same tick as the collision happened. Yeah, I am calculating the position currently. The position X will always be just outside the collision hit. The problem is I'm doing a calculation. Calculation. That's a new word. I'm gonna coin that a word. Now the calculation is taken from the previous position. The reason I'm doing this is because if you have a high speed, you are going to fly through a wall if you just check the current position and forward. So I am basically throwing a box from your previous position to your new position, plus a little bit more. And the previous position seems to be not perfect right now. Or well, the what I'm thinking is happening. Let's bring out the big guns. This is the wall. The box is. Let's make the box big. I'm bad at this. So this is the box put perfectly on the next to the wall. I'm doing two types of collisions. So one is the box was colliding like inside the wall. So we move the player out. And when we then have been moved out, the previous position was still the one in the wall. No, it wasn't. The previous position will be the red one. So we moved it out to the red one. But then we do a box cast, which should go from the previous position, which should be, as we're doing left collision, it should be from the middle, going out to the left. So it should be from here, going to that position, basically. What up, Backslash? How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a wonderful day. So this is what it's supposed to do. But I think we are currently doing this, potentially. Are we? Something like that. You order your PC parts, so now you get stressed until they all get there. Try to build a PC for the first time. Building a PC is very easy. Or well, it's basically Legos for an adult. Just put stuff where they should be, and you're fine. So there's something you do like Lego, yeah, then it should be easy. So let's just go through this. Move direction should be position minus previous position. Which is probably correct. So the box has a size which is that. But the okay, let's is this how you calculate that? 12.5 to get 25? Yeah. This is way too big. I set it to 0.1f and let's set this point 35f. I was smart when I wrote this once. I am not that smart anymore. This was like 2 months ago. 1 month? 1.5? I don't know. Previous position is updated every tick, yeah. Hold. Hold. So now none of them are working. What up, Caspot? How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. So I kind of solved the problem by... No, I didn't. What I could do is, because bombs and stuff are never going to move really fast unless it lags, the reason I wanted to have it from the previous position to the new position is if you lag, you're going to move a lot in one frame, and if you move too much, you're going to go through the wall. But custom calculation for the horizontal, the player should not be able to clip through the wall. All good. What about you? I'm doing great. Apart from this not working properly. Apart from that, it's great. Let's go to the player. Let's enable the lag component. I don't think I can. No, I can't clip through walls. So let's go to the check collision. Check wall collision. No, collision check component. Did I change anything? Yeah. Very intense music. Thank you very much for the follow, Cracksbox. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I hope you are doing well. You are doing well because you said you were doing well, so that's good. Thank you. Now I need to solve this, and then I can show you all the attack. What up, Scott? How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a wonderful day. You're good? I would like to keep the chat in English because most of my viewers are English, and I've been using Unity for over 10 years. So, yeah, that make what you will out of that information. I just need to check my collision here. What is just the one who want me to learn the secret moon language? Yeah, it's the moon language. No, I don't want you / to learn it, because you would be too powerful. We would not be able to handle you. Sending in collision data, previous collision. Oh. We don't speak the same language. But we can easily understand each other most of the time. There are usually some words that are not really that just sound weird and could mean something different. But I think exactly. Languages from that region are neat because of that, yeah. Except for Finnish, we don't understand them. No one does. So my wall collision. I thought of right. Collision data. I'm sending in the right collision data as well, right and left collision. Written Danish is better than spoken. Easier to understand, I would say. pronunciation can differ from what you read in Danish. Yeah. You gotta head out, Captain Coder. All right, thank you for lurking, for hanging out. Thank you for your support. Have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you later. So when I decreased the size, it didn't work in the other direction. Oh, I just realized this is kind of not good. Is it? Yeah, it's just size. No, it's good. Never mind. Where did I pause? Let's see if we can get the boss to behave. Nope. So we're not changing the previous position either. This was not a problem I thought I would have. Before this, I didn't do a box cast to where I was. I did a ray cast, just a straight line and not a box, and that could probably be better. I tried to combine my two collisions into one, and I think that is kind of what's messing with me. This doesn't look good. This doesn't look correct. Would it be possible that I just need to run this code like this? I think that could be it. No, right. Come on, die. Cool. Work. Work. Works. Cool. Yeah, it was a leftover thing from my vertical collision that I copied a long time ago. The collision to the right was not behaving the same as collision to the left. They were different length. Okay, so now we could... I think the boss was throwing 10 bombs. Feels good to get it to work. Let's see what task I was at. Implement magic, yeah. We fixed that. Well, not the whole thing. We made it to work for enemies. So let's... I kind of need to let 1C make bombs bounce. So this is the ticker at the bottom of the screen. So let's get a strike through there. I should be able to go back and remove those abs. Yeah, I will do that in just a second. I want to see how it feels with this when you throw 10 bombs. Yeah. Or do we want even more bombs, like 20? $200. Let's go. This is the boss I'm excited to play. A little bit too many. But this, I think this one works because they explode as they land, kinda. We could have a little bit of a variable height too, just to make it even more, a little bit more random. So now we could do this on both, yeah. Nice. Thank you for the help, Cracksbox, and for the support. We handle the bounce. It's a throwable object. That's not where I want to set it. It should be in boss bomb. Let's do a random on the Y value as well. Random range. Going force Y minus 3. I think that should be a plus 3. I think that would make it just a tiny bit better. I dropped the bomb. Or not the bomb, the box. You can throw the box. Whee! And then you can... Is that a variable height? That doesn't seem... No, they're all still going. The same height. Ah. So, yeah, if you have any questions of the game or what I'm doing, feel free to ask. I am here to I'm here to help. No, I'm or if you want to know how I solved something, feel free to ask, and I will try and answer the questions. No, it's still getting the same height. Kind of, yeah. Oh well, good enough for me. I like this. Oh, it could... No. Could it be the... Maybe the Y throwing force here. Yeah. That should be what decides the... Am I using the throwing force? Oh, it could be in the initialize. Yeah, it is. Let's close this side because we don't need it. Alt tab in group. Let's move the Y value over here. Then we throw in the Y value. But I've been going for 1 and 40, and I haven't taken a break, so Going to take a small break, make a cup of tea. Should be like 22 then. All right. After I've tested this, and now they should have a different variable height. Cool. Fun thing about this is you can, when they touch the ground, you can grab them. It's not really usable on these, but you can. You can throw the box. You can ground pound with the box. You can kill the boss with it. You can also do a normal ground pound. And you can surf on the box. And you can jump with the box. That's like this. Cool. Yeah, I'm going to take a small break. I'll be back in like 5 minutes or however long it takes to make a cup of tea. Base companion cube. Yeah, it's going to be a companion box, not a cube. I don't wanna mess with the portal cube, you know. It's a box. I'll be right back.
serait bien crack. Ouais, c'est le jeu. Alors c'est parti pour Lotus Challenge 2003.
And we are back. Let's see if I can fit everything on here. My controller cable is way too long. There we go. Perfect. Now I got my tea. All right. So we made the... Let's switch to the scene. We made the bumps bounce. So my thought now is to start the game at the start and play and see what we have broken with everything we've done in the last week or two. So let's start in the actual starting position. Let's remove that and that and that and that. Now we should be spawn point up there. Yeah, good. Have a pressure plate that you have to press to have the mobile platform go up. Cool. And here we have the animal. One-way platforms working nicely. One problem though with the snapping. A little bit, I need to look into that later. We have a wall we can't get through. Let's see if transitions work. They are not working. Cool. Now let's see why they aren't working, and I think I know why this one isn't working. I disabled them to test some things. Yeah. So let's start where we just were, and let's jump down and watch the beautiful Mega Man transition. Nope. One is this one. Doesn't have the box collider, should it? No, it shouldn't be activated. But it should activate the box collider as I... Oh. Yeah, that could be it. Okay. Are they deactivated? No, they're not. So I changed something with the rooms. The room loading. I need to enable all the transitions. Should be in the room manager operational things last time. We activate current room, we activate the room, we show the room, and we show the neighbor room. Activating the room should set all the colliders enabled. That means that we should get in here. So let's let's debug. When I start now, we should get into the we should hit the breakpoint. And we are. Enable is false and oh, are we deactivating room? Okay. Let's wait until we get into activate room. There we go. Now we'll go back in here. And we never get in here. Interesting. So the room data object model doesn't have any exits. Activate room, and we do not have any exits now because we're using the room. All right, we have the confiner, and that is good. We have everything else but the exits. And I think that is... Well, the room controller should be room 1, right? This should be room controller, yes. The room info, we have the objects. And the get data should be from the level data, and the level data is set through my editor, DK editor. And here we should have collider. Okay. Exit, here we have them. We are loading them. We're setting them to the object model and the, let's go to room manager. We are setting data on items, we're returning data, load room. Yeah, we're setting the level data. Let's debug again and see when we run the reload world. Or could it be just that they were disabled when I ran it last time? But it should be room. I'm not sure which room, but exits. We have 3 and they should be 979. That's not the first room. Put one there. Oops. With exit 3, we need a 72. or it goes into E. So here we set them. So they should now be in this room. Cool. Now we activate the room. Do we have any exits in it? Now we have 3. Okay. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Right, they have a horizontal movement. They still need the entity. No. Okay, so I still need to fix this. Private bowl has moving platform info. As data, moving platform info. As data, as moving platform info. So we have now fixed 2 bugs. That is nice. Let's continue playing through the game and see what we can find. I can still clip through here, right? No? Maybe? No. We kill the enemies. The flying ones, they have a lot of HP. Not sure why. I feel like they should have lower HP. The zoom is working, except that the camera is not in position. Okay. Killing that opens the door, that works. So now we should get a dash. No, I got a map. Build map 0, dash 1. No, yes, 1. I can dash. So I need to figure out a way to make so that the box is the one dashing. And how that would look for the game, since the player is shouldn't be able to do anything really. Shouldn't do it. The player should guide the box or control the box a little bit. Or the player should tell the box what to do. That's kind of it. And I'm not sure how a dash would work, unless the box kind of grabs you by your head and just pulls you along, or maybe in your back and pushes you forward. So they are shooting. So there's one thing I need to work on. Let's add it. Magic enemies shoot every time you get into a collision range. So if you jump like this, you can have them shoot all the time. There's also a problem. If you hit them, they will get knocked back and they will turn around. Which kinda... No. Wait. Can we... This is funny. It's kinda... That is really funny. If you do this, then... No. Nice. Which one is this? Another dash, right? Yeah, now we'll get a longer dash because you can upgrade a dash. You go in here. We have nothing in here right now. We hit the lever, which I think we did. Hitting the lever opens door over here to the left, so we can go back through. And it should trigger a health upgrade in here. We need a health upgrade. And then enemies spawn in here too. They can get knocked down, but you can put the box down and jump with it. It's still a bit janky. I think this is a liftable, no? Just a thing. So now you can, let's see, yeah, that works. There's still a glitch where you can, if you go down here, you get clipped into the wall. You warp to room 8. No, that's the wrong one. Warp to room, like, I think it's 1. Yeah. And then we get into the boss room. So we can play through the whole game now, which is nice. Let's see that both attacks are working. Yeah, now we can kill the boss. And now we win. Okay, so there's a couple of things. Room transition can clip you into ground. Boss health doesn't, health bar doesn't move. Look into heal health bar. Fireball, sprite size, bomb sprite size. What else? Health on enemies. Look over health on enemies. What else do I need to do? Remove double jump from player. End screen after killing the boss. Maybe I should start writing a changelog for everything I do, every stream. That might be cool. Well, I kinda do, but I summarize it a bit. So, what else did I see on this? One-way platforms are a little bit weird. Alright, map doesn't work anymore. Fix. I think that is everything I noticed with this run. Now I want to play through it again without having a double jump. So let's do that. Let's go into LDTK because I want to move the spawn point back up. But I also want to change the ability pick up here to dash. And I don't want to pick up a second ability up here that was just for test before. We get to dash and we have a single jump. Let's refresh and try this. And on the player we have a component for debugging. What did I call it? Oh, let's see. Ability handler. But player reset skill component. Didn't I add a debug? Or just a debug? Fixed. No, okay. That is so weird. I'm quite sure I added a debug component. And I even made my own editor for it. Didn't I? Play debug mode. Or did I remove this from the player? Maybe I... One asset usage on player. Where is it? Oh, it's right there. Okay. Now we can only jump once. Cool. We need to change the level design as well, since everything has changed since we did this before. Alright, that camera needs fixing. The zooming camera. Oops, I switched to that view. Zoom in camera. Room. Second room. Grab the dash. I'm just going to skip those because they have way too much health. Same with that one. Having a mage on there would be kind of hard. It's kind of hard to get in there. Like, oh, my buffer or coyote jump doesn't work. I feel like I did it so easily the first time. And now I'm not even close. You dash earlier or later? That was a bad jump from the start. I can dash twice, but that is not... No, I can't. I landed and dashed again. Yeah, it's kind of precise. Or is it variable? Oops, I was not... I didn't mean to close the gaming tab. I wanted to maximize it, because then we get less lag. It feels like when I do a good jump, we can get it every time. Like when you jump, just jump from the edge, really. And wait a tiny bit before you do the jump, or do the dash. But I think it's going to be a lot easier with the coyote jump. Oh, why did I stop? Well, I think it's good. I think we have a lot of things we need to do. Oops, I should not have saved. Let's do this and save. So I'm thinking where I should start first. Magic enemies will probably change in general. I think all enemies are going to change. These are just testing enemies that I've been using. I've been thinking if I should create a slime. Because every RPG, action RPG needs to have a slime in it. Else it's not a real action RPG. Which is like a MetroidVania but still action and RPG. Health upgrade. Which ones could I look into? I think that we have 50 minutes or 45 minutes. More bug fixes, yeah. I don't feel like doing bug fixes right now. I kind of want to look into the Feel health bar. So Feel is a library. Let me open up the Feel asset and we can look at it together. Where is it? Feel. No? Is it not on the asset store anymore? Did they change the name of it? Okay, let's see. Package manager. Feel. Can't relate. Yeah. I kind of need to be in the mood for bug fixes or have them planned from the start. Else it feels weird to me. View in asset store. Is it? Here we have it. Why couldn't I find it when I searched for feel? Anyways, let's go to the publisher website. I think we can get the... No. Here we have it. Feel. It has a lot of feedbacks for the game. We can... That is where I got the screen shake and stuff from in a very easy way. So it has a lot, and what I wanted to look into is this part. The health bar. That was really quick. Let's see if I can go to the documentation. Feedbacks and getting started. No, I wanna other tools. No, recipes. Content of the asset. No. Demo section. Here we are. Demo. Health bar. Progress bar. Could it be the progress bar? Yeah. There we have the progress bar that I want to use. I didn't get the demos when I imported this, so I might do that to see how they did it. Maybe. Let's import and only the health bar demo. Let's uncheck everything, and I think we need common, but we should have a the progress bar one. Import. Let's save that scene and let's go to the feel, demos, progress bar, and open the scene. What is this? Why can it not use Unity Internet Windows? Oh, if enable system, okay. Do we come out? No, we add another one. Enable input system. We go, I thought, no? Oops. Let's just fix this really quick. Okay, now I can play it. I hope. Because I kind of want to get this effect, yeah. Oh, we don't have the bloom. We don't have any of these. Okay. But yeah, let's see how this is implemented. Input module, no. Direction text, tap anywhere to jump. No. Oh, that's for the... Okay. So we have the UI camera, we have the canvas, background, container. The horizontal bar is the progress bar. Do we have, if we do a progress bar here, do we have a prefab? We do not have a prefab. Maximum fill bar, initial value at start, left to right, up to down. If I do it up to down, this would switch. Interesting. The on decrease start. Which object is that? Oh, they're just random objects that do a lot of effects. Okay. Okay, yeah, let's implement this. Let's go back to the level of the scene. But the problem using this one would be if I used the new UI toolkit. I couldn't really do anything. I couldn't work on that here with this. Should I implement this? Should I use the old canvas in the gameplay? Should I mix them? Because right now we have canvas on the player for doing a lot of things. I'm not sure. I need to think a little bit. So let's fix some bugs. Remove double jump from player. I just did. We can remove that. And the screen after killing the boss is a UI thing as well. One-way platforms are a little bit weird. Let's focus on this one for now. Fix one-way platforms. Let's remove this, save, and then paste it. So since we are working on one-way platforms, I'm going to move my spawn point to where we have one-way platforms. I'm also going to make it a bit wider, so it's going to be easier to play with. Because now we have this when we don't get up on it. We kind of snap down a little bit. And I don't like that. So we need to go to... Did I do a one-way platform thing? No, it was... Is it just in my collision? It is, right? Ground collision. Collision based on jumping. So if we are jumping, we don't do it until we let go to jump. So what I want to do also is I want to decrease this one to 0.5. But that's not going to change anything. Maybe? No. The problem here is that my ground collision is hitting it. But we are colliding. All right. Didn't I? Yeah, we have the collision up here. So it is kind of weird that we're clipping down a little bit. It's one-way platform. Let's check ceiling collision. This shouldn't. Oh. Now, I don't think ceiling collision should care about what type of platform it is. It should just collide with the ground. This should just be playground. Because if the ceiling collision triggers, then that's what is knocking us down. P to start. Play. Yeah. That is a lot better. Now we snap onto it if we jump too high, but we do not get pushed down like before. That is good. That is good. Then that is fixed too. We still have a bit of a clip up. And I probably need to rework the collision in general for it to be better. Currently we're doing from the middle of the player straight down, and I kind of want to do it from the bottom of the player is where I want to start the collision. I will have to do that later, but this is working now because here we have the previous position plus 0.3f. Player size, so if I didn't have plus 3 there, then we would stand above ground a bit, I think. No? That looks pretty good. I think it's good enough for now. But with that fixed, let's go to the next task. And that would be... Oh, I added all of the things again. Let's do this. Gonna postpone that one. That one. This one, I feel like we just need to keep the design so that we can't clip into the wall if we go through it. But something I would like to have is keep vertical speed in vertical transitions. And keep horizontal speed or horizontal transitions. Coyote jump. Empty jump. Here we are calculating it. has ground collision or is on platform. Let's see. Wait for this. All right. And why am I hitting every button? Coyote usable is true. If we have collision with the ground and platform shield. That's false when we jump. So long, that is good. Time left grounded. Wait. Of course, this is not going to work. If we have ground collision, if we're on here, it should be probably be we don't have. Let's think this through. If we don't have ground collision and previous collision has ground collision, that's when we set the time. That's right. Nope. Let's see if this is being set in the correct time. Oops. Yeah. This time seems to be accurate. Let's go in here. Time left grounded. Threshold 0.1. Good usable true. If we yeah, this one should also be true. That is all good. Then we calculate jump and can jump. Frame started coyote jump, and we're not frozen. Can jump? What is can jump? Okay, that is the problem. They takes for ground collision, which we won't have if we have walked off the edge. What I could do here is be able to jump. Maybe that will solve it for me. Yeah, that fixed it. Cool. That should make this a lot easier. If we ability dash 1. We have dash 1, yeah. Yeah, easy. Not even close to missing it. Oops. I just dashed way too early. If you dash too early, you take damage. Oh. Let's do this. Bug fixing. 3A. 3B would be coyote jump. Uh, 3C, I can fix the... I should fix the cameras in general. Cameras. Oh. Here we go. Because in the third room, as we saw, the camera was placed, and the problem is the Z position it has. And I think that's just my normal virtual camera. No, it's the camera triggers. What room is this? Room 6. Objects. We have the virtual camera here. That is a trigger, and this is the virtual camera. So let's select the object, and it should be -10. So why would this be at not -10? Let's see if that happens if I remove it. Virtual camera trigger. Oh, it is the trigger. The virtual camera is over there, yeah. Virtual camera trigger is the one. Let's actually remove the virtual camera trigger, save, refresh in here so it is removed. Good, then we'll go back in here and place a new one. Single use. Then we have trigger duration, which is 2. Good. Then we get it back in here. It's still 0. Let's see what we're doing with this. We have follow on the player. So could it be that we need to set the distance? It shouldn't follow the player. Virtual camera trigger. Let's just do this. Position would then be transform position. Let's hope this works. What up, Captain Coder? Welcome back. How's it going? It's going pretty well. We've fixed a few things. The boss is now a lot harder. Position, let's see, is -10. Let's do local position actually. No, position. Now with the transform position is position. I am fixing bugs right now, thinking about how to do other stuff, but I am feeling a tiny headache on its way. You love writing bugs? Me too. I'm sad I don't do it often enough. Is it fixing? You're terrible at that? Aw. Well, someone's gotta be good at... oh, perfect. Now it's -10. I should do this on the normal virtual camera too, because I always set that. Exciting. Let's copy this. I think I have fixed that now. The import was, I guess it wouldn't be fair to be good at singing and fixing bugs. Yeah, can't have both. You gotta choose one. You gotta either ditch the singing or fixing bugs. No, I've been running through the game, seeing what I need to fix, and I made the one-way platforms a little bit better with the snapping, but I wrote down a few things I need to fix, or I want to change or look into. This works perfectly. Nice. Cool. Now that is working too. But I am thinking about ending stream early because I'm getting a headache. So we have fixed a lot of... we've done a lot of things. I can show you the new and improved boss. And then I think I'm going to call it. Do some stretching. The boss is kind of the same. Just that the second phase is a little bit crazier. Oh, I should do that. The bombs bounce. No. I think this will be pretty hard to, like, depending on the health of the boss. It's going to be kind of challenging. I also just realized I need to have a respawnable thing. Respawn points. Because when you fight the boss, you kind of need to have a respawn point. Because imagine dying to the boss and then you have to replay the game. Or dying anywhere, really. No, I'm gonna call it here. And hopefully I will not have a headache that goes until tomorrow. So let's see if there's anyone online right now. Art is online. It's online early. That's not like him. What happened? He's been going for an hour. Wow. That is how I'm feeling right now. Let's raid Art. And say hi to him. So thanks for watching today. It was fun. little. Got a lot of progress, and I'll be back on maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. Not entirely sure which day will be a climbing day, but I'll be back soon. I will keep my schedule updated on the on my bio, in my bio. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful evening. Bye bye.